just to give you a very quick idea of the kind of person you're dealing with here, I recently put both of my hands in the bin in a public bathroom because I thought it was a Dyson Airblade. That's me. What else can I say about myself? I'm quite a modern person. I'd like to think I'm a bit of an advocate for more progressive, more atypical family setups. For instance, my life partner isn't strictly a husband. If anything, he's more what we'd call a cat. He's a cat. He's a cat. His name's Bernard. I think we have a very healthy relationship. Except that he did recently lick my boob, and we've not really spoken about it since. So I'm not quite sure what that means for us. I think next year, though, I think 2026 is going to be my year. I've pinned all my hopes on that. I think it's going to be my year. I think 2026 might be the year where I finally become a viable human being. I've been working at that. It's been a bit of an uphill struggle, not going to lie, it has been an uphill struggle. Most struggles are uphill, really, aren't they? Hardly ever hear of struggles in other directions. Sisyphus tracing a boulder down a hill, shit, catch it. It's been a classic uphill struggle, because there are a lot of impediments to me becoming a functioning human. For a start, you'll no doubt be astonished to learn I have ADHD. Ooh, oh, no way, no, it's true. I have ADHD, I have poor short-term memory, poor impulse control, I'm clinically depressed, I have poor short-term memory, and I'm an introvert. And to top it all off, I have chosen as my profession something that necessitates the most unnatural communication possible. This is not normal, okay? This is weird. Me up here, you down there, do I have the power because I'm holding the mic? Do you have the power because there are more of you than there are of me? It's weird, isn't it? It is weird. I'm going to make it so weird. So I've been thinking a lot lately about my internal organs. Yeah, there's no natural way to introduce that into a conversation, is there? Always feels a little bit forced. And we're all, I would say, like weirdly squeamish, weirdly almost coy about our organs. Like as soon as our insides are mentioned, we become a kind of fainting aunt in a Jane Austen novel. Mr. Darcy, please, your kidneys, they're on full display. Say something for your wife. That was from Pride and Pancreas. She's not a one-liner comedian, but she's got range. Yeah, we're all weirdly coy about them, but they're there, aren't they? Inside us, I think. I guess I don't check very often. I'd say I look at my own insides the normal amount, which I've Googled that and that's not at all. I don't look at my own insides at all. But I do believe that they're there, and I don't like that I'm aware that they're there. Okay, if you want to be constantly mildly traumatised, and you're watching me, so I assume that's what you're into, I would recommend becoming aware of your own internal organs and the fact that, best case scenario, they are sitting there inside you day after day doing things without your understanding or your permission. And there's flipping loads of them too, like if I had to estimate, I would say at least 5 or 6 different bits. I'm not a qualified doctor, I could have been, I chose not to be. Medicine's lustrous, comedy's game. I am going somewhere with this, by the way, I do have a point. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page vis-a-vis guts. On that note, hi. Hi. What's your name?
Connor.
Connor. I don't know what I was expecting. Hi, Connor. Hi, Connor. Tell me, Connor. Do you think it's reasonable for me to assume that you have internal organs?
Yeah.
Yes, but quite an upsetting pause before agreeing there. I'm not entirely sure. Might be full of Lego, might be full of milk. We'll never know. We'll never know. I don't think it's that contentious for me to assume that most of us do indeed have internal organs. More controversially though, I think that some of my major organs have a good cop, bad cop situation going on. I will explain. My heart, that's the good cop. No problem at all with my heart. It pumps blood around my body like an absolute champ. I want it to beat. It does beat every day so far. No problem at all with my heart. My brain, on the other hand, is an arsehole. Not literally, obviously that would be biologically quite upsetting. I mean my brain is a dick. Again, not literally. To be absolutely clear, my brain is a brain, but that's the best thing I can say about it. I hate it hates me, there's mutual animosity there. At best it's kind of blithely useless. At worst, I think it might be trying to kill me. Because every day, several times a day, my brain will just go, oh no! I'll say, what is it? And my brain will say, oh no, you've forgotten. I'll say, what have I forgotten? And my brain will say, I don't know, something probably. And the worst part is it's usually right. I usually have forgotten something. Because like I said, I have zero short-term memory. Brilliant long-term, zero short-term. So I can remember word for word the song from a Chicken Bovril advert from 1988. But I can't remember the beginning of this sentence. I'm just hoping that by the time I reach a natural pause in speech, it's at least grammatically correct. So I'm desperately trying to work out what it might be that I might have forgotten. And my brain pops up again very helpfully. Hi, yeah, excuse me, hi. Maybe you've forgotten your PE kit. And I say, no, I don't think so, brain. I'm 41 years old, actually. Do I need a PE kit? No. Do I own a PE kit? No. Am I still scared of my PE teacher? And then again, when I lay my head down to sleep at night, as soon as my head hits the pillow, my brain pops up like Microsoft Word paperclip. It looks like you're trying to have a nervous breakdown. Would you like some help with that? No, thank you. But it's got the bit between its teeth now, not literally, it's a brain. It's on a roll. And it says, I'm sorry to hear that because I've got 5 hours of fake definitions of words to share with you. And I say, no, thank you, brain, I don't want that very much. And it goes, a platypus is a cat with braids. And I say, no. And my brain says, melancholy, a dog made of fruit. And I say, no. And my brain says, archetype is the answer to what kind of boat did Noah have? He had an archetype of boat. And I say, shut up. And my brain says, I see how it is. You want me to change the channel. And I say, oh God, no, please don't change the channel. But it says, no, you've twisted my arm, not literally, it's a brain. You've persuaded me. I'm going to change the channel. And then it's a 50-50 chance of it being either a night of crippling self-loathing, so my brain reminded me of all the ways in which I might have let down myself, my child, my parents, my friends, my lovers, just FYI. My PE teacher again, weirdly. Sometimes my country. Either that, or again on a loop, that Chicken Bovril advert from 1988. That advert. I'm not sponsored, by the way. Other meat drinks are available, I guess. But that advert. There was a woman in that Chicken Bovril advert who claimed to be a fashion model. I don't think fashion models do drink liquid chicken. And that has bothered me for 37 years. Because that's another thing that I really struggle with. I struggle with the kind of hierarchy of what should and should not worry me. And that worries me. I don't know if it should. To give an example of this, a while ago, I had a bit of a day. 2 major things happened, which is more things than usually happen to me in a day. First thing that happened, I had some neutral feedback from my boss. Not negative feedback, neutral feedback. But my brain's response to it, well, I'm going to be fired. They work out I'm not a real human being and I am going to lose my job. I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage, I'm going to lose my home. The song says nobody wants you when you're down and out, nobody's going to want me, nobody wants me now, but they're going to want me even less. I'm going to become a social pariah. I'm going to be a warning to idle neurodivergent children. If you don't study small talk hard enough, you'll end up like the swamp hag. Is there even a swamp near me? What if I have to construct my own swamp? I don't know how to do that. I'm not a telmatologist. Every day's a school day, that's a real Dermatologist, swamp specialist. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm going to fail at being a swamp hag. I'm going to die alone and unloved in a sewer, and my cat, Bernard, is going to feast on my corpse. Because I need positive feedback. I crave validation. When my doctor said my urine sample was perfect, without thinking, my response was, "Oh, thanks." This old thing. I'll put that on my CV. Put it on my Tinder profile. Good sense of humour, perfect urine sample. Now you'll remember two things happened to me that day. Okay, first thing, neutral feedback. The second thing that happened, I slightly set my house on fire. Whoops! So random, what am I like? Yeah, I set my house on fire a little bit, and don't get me wrong, it was scary. I had to use the fire blanket for the first time ever. I didn't know how to use it. As far as I was concerned, there was a very strong chance that in using the fire blanket to put out the fire, I would set the fire blanket on fire. It was scary, but when I'd sorted it out, when my brain had kind of had a chance to kind of get over it, my brain's response to setting my own house on fire was, "Oh, I tell you what, that was a nice change of pace." So I try to quiet the stupidity with work, not comedy work, real work, busy work. But my brain is still there. And I know it needs to be there so that I can live or something, but it remains loud and it remains stupid. Like, sometimes I'll be working, on my laptop. I'm not a pianist or a very good mime. I'll be working and my brain will pop up and say, "Hi, busy." Yes, I'm working. Working, are you? Cool. Hey, you know how you're interested in languages? Yes. Ooh. And you know how the French word for bike is vélo? Yes, I think I remember that from school. Why are you saying this? Velociraptors are called velociraptors because they used to ride bicycles. That's not true! No, that's not true. You're just doing faux etymology again. No, people often come up to me after my gigs and say, "Oh, Chrissy, I love this character you've created." No, I have several problems. I'm working on it though. I'm in therapy right now, thank you. Bedside manner's a bit weird, you keep laughing at me, but I think I'm into it. It's good though, isn't it? It's good to talk about your troubles, whatever outlet you might have, whether you have access to real therapy, whether you just talk to a friend, vent on social media. There's a table full of absolute cuties in the corner here in dungarees and chunky knits that I think probably write sad songs on a ukulele, and that is absolutely fine, pals, that is fine. It's good to talk about the ways in which we are weird and messed up and broken, because we are all weird and messed up and a little bit broken. This world, this beautiful, miraculous, lush green earth on which we live is so weird. It is so messed up. Have you ever watched a nature documentary? Don't. Don't, if you want to still like nature. It's a Lovecraftian hellscape out there. An octopus's penis. Yeah, that got your attention. An octopus's penis is on the end of one of its arms. It can rip it off and throw it at you if it wants to mate. Not you personally, I don't know why you locked eyes just then, but still. That doesn't feel right, does it? That is counterintuitive. If you're not at least a little bit put out by that, I put it to you that your Pornhub search history is troublingly specific. You can call it vintage anime as much as you want, Connor. I don't know how to live in a world that's so wet and squishy. I don't know how to go on in a world where octopuses are out there just flinging their willies at people. Probably not people, actually, probably other octopuses. I don't know, I'm not a cephalopodologist. But I am some kind of person. How do I go on when I am so full of wet, squishy, visceral guts? And the answer is I do this. I do stand-up comedy. And it changes a person. It really does change you doing stand-up comedy. I've gone from never having met a comedian in real life to everyone I know either is a comedian or will be soon. If anyone in the audience isn't a stand-up comedian yet, don't fight it, just let it happen. Most notably though, I've found that being a comedian changes your priorities shift. You start doing things because you think you'll get a good anecdote out of it. So you'll go for that ill-advised job, you'll go on that date you probably shouldn't go on, you'll jump out of that plane. Me, I did something quite silly really. I appropriated. Yeah. I thought, children, there's a rich seam of comedy there. Why not push a human being out of the old vagina and see what happens? Sorry, when I say old vagina, it's just a turn of phrase. It's no older than the rest of me. It's not a hand-me-down. Vintage purse, love it. No. So yeah, I had a kid and I love it. I really do. I love being a parent. I think it is so moving being privileged to watch this screaming potato gradually blossom into a weirdly dependent flatmate. Love being a parent. Didn't love being pregnant. Didn't love that at all. Maybe I was doing something wrong. I mean, I did it fine, I kept her in there, but didn't leave my womb at the shops. But maybe there was something wrong with my attitude, because pregnant women, they're supposed to be radiant, aren't they? Yeah, I was not radiant as advertised. I was not a glowing fertility goddess. I was more of an angry sphere with wind. Found out I was pregnant the normal way, peeing on a stick. Still think that's quite a weird thing to be the normal way to do anything. In most circumstances in life, I found peeing on things optional, if not frowned upon. School run? No. Jury duty? No. Not even to establish dominance over the other jurors. Funeral? Depends who died. Families have their little traditions, don't they? I'm not here to keep showing the dead. Yeah, didn't enjoy being pregnant, but I love having a kid now. The thing about being a parent, though, is that you spend so much of your time, so much of your soul parenting, that when your kid's not around and it's time to not parent anymore, it's really hard to turn it off. You do find yourself pointing out moo cows to strangers on the bus. Worst one of these that ever happened to me, the worst kind of case of misplaced parenting, was my partner at the time had a friend round. So this was two guys in their late 30s kicking back, playing cards in my living room. And let me tell you, it really does change the whole vibe of an evening. When you go up to a long-term romantic partner and his friend, who you don't know very well, lean over them and say, "Will Mummy get you a drink?" I had a threesome that night just to save face. Oh, you guys have you've been so lovely, and such a lovely audience, so welcoming. I'm going to finish in a minute, but before I do, I just feel like I'd like to give something back. If that's okay. I'd just like, if you're willing, I'd just like to perform a little song for you. Is that okay? It's an old favourite, you might know it. It's from 1988. I'm a fashion model. I'm right on top. Always busy, no time to stop. The chicken bovril when my body's on the go. 1 cup, 20 calories, that's real low. It's quick to mix, it's the taste for me. Chicken bovril. Naturally, whatever the city, you'll hear my voice. Chicken bovril, the natural choice. You've been absolutely brilliant. I unfortunately think Chrissy Derbyshire. During which time you may do something that takes 10 minutes or less. I would recommend getting a cheeky drink, doing a cheeky wee, and getting really, really psyched for your headliner, Ben Pope. Thank you.